One phone call, one terrible accident, and suddenly, Marcus Kane had nothing left to live for. He was the richest man in the city, but money couldn't save them. 3 years ago, his world was perfect. A beautiful wife, Sarah. Twin boys, Jake and Leo, both 8 years old. A penthouse overlooking the ocean. Everything a man could want. But perfection doesn't last. Not when fate has other plans. That Friday evening, Marcus was at a business dinner. His phone buzzed. A known number. He almost ignored it. Mr. Kane. The voice was shaking. There's been an accident. Your family, they were on the bridge when it collapsed. The restaurant noise faded. His wine glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the marble floor. Red liquid spread like blood. He doesn't remember the drive to the hospital. Doesn't remember the flashing lights or the reporters already gathering. He only remembers running through those white corridors, his expensive shoes slipping on the polished floor. A doctor stopped him. Tired. Sad eyes. I'm so sorry, Mr. Kane. We did everything we could. The words felt unreal, like someone else's nightmare. Sarah was gone. The boys were gone. In one moment, his entire world had ended. He stood there, a statue in a designer suit, while nurses whispered and avoided his eyes. Someone handed him a plastic bag. Their belongings. Jake's toy car. Leo's homework, half finished. Sarah's wedding ring. That night, Marcus went home to an empty penthouse. Their laughter still echoed in the walls. The boys' shoes by the door. Sarah's coffee cup in the sink. Everything frozen in time. He didn't cry. Couldn't. The pain was too deep for tears. Time moved, but Marcus didn't. He went to work, signed papers, made millions. But he was dead inside. His assistant, David, watched him with worried eyes. Boss, you need to take a break. Maybe travel. See someone. I'm fine, Marcus lied. He said that every day. The penthouse became a museum. He kept everything exactly as it was. The boys' room untouched. Sarah's clothes still in the closet. Her perfume bottle on the dresser, half empty. At night, he sat alone in the dark, staring at the ocean. Sometimes he wondered what would happen if he just walked into those waves and didn't come back. His friends stopped calling. His family stopped visiting. Everyone was tired of watching a ghost pretend to be alive. One evening, David sat across from his desk, refusing to leave. Marcus, I'm saying this as your friend, not your assistant. You're dying slowly. Sarah wouldn't want this. Don't, Marcus's voice was ice. Don't tell me what she would want. Someone has to. David leaned forward. You have a choice. Keep drowning or learn to swim again. Marcus turned away. I don't know how. David didn't give up. 3 weeks later, he practically forced Marcus into a suit. One event. 2 hours. Then you can go back to your cave. The charity gala was downtown. Children's Hospital fundraiser. Marcus hated it immediately. Too many people. Too much noise. Too much life. He stood in the corner, counting minutes. Then he saw her. She wasn't the loudest person in the room or the most glamorous. But something about her made him look twice. She was kneeling beside a little girl in a wheelchair, laughing at something the child said. Her smile was real. Not the fake charity smile everyone else wore. That's Elena Torres, David whispered. She runs the children's program here. Started it herself after her sister died of cancer. Marcus watched as Elena stood, smoothing the girl's hair before moving to the next child. She noticed him staring and gave a small, polite nod. He looked away quickly, heart pounding for the first time in 3 years. Later, they were introduced. Her handshake was firm. Her eyes were kind but sharp, like she could see through his expensive suit to the broken man underneath. Mr. Kane, I've heard a lot about you. Nothing good, I hope, he said automatically. She tilted her head. Actually, I heard you lost your family. I'm sorry. Most people said that and looked away. She held his gaze, letting him see that she meant it. Thank you, he managed. Loss changes us, she said softly. But it doesn't have to destroy us. Before he could respond, she was called away. But her words stayed with him all night. Marcus found himself at the hospital the next week. He told himself it was to check on his donation. That's what he told David too. Elena was in the playroom, painting with the children. She had blue paint on her cheek and didn't seem to notice. Mr. Kane. She looked surprised. What brings you here? I wanted to see where the money goes. He sounded stiff even to himself. She smiled. Come see. For the next hour, she showed him everything. The new equipment. The therapy rooms. The library filled with books. Children waved at her everywhere they went. They loved her. You really care about this, Marcus said. They deserve someone who cares. Every child does. She paused. Your sons were lucky to have you. His throat tightened. How do you know about them? I did my research after we met. I'm sorry. That was invasive. No. He surprised himself. No, it's okay. Most people pretend they never existed. They stood in silence for a moment. Comfortable silence. Strange. Would you like coffee? Elena asked. There's a terrible cafeteria downstairs. Marcus almost said no. Almost walked away. But something in her eyes made him stay. I'd like that. Coffee became a weekly thing. Then twice a week. Marcus told himself it was about the charity. But he knew better. Elena talked about her sister, Maria. About watching cancer take her slowly. About the helpless feeling of not being able to save someone you love. I started this program because I couldn't save her, Elena said one evening. But maybe I can help save others. Marcus understood that. The need to give meaning to meaningless loss. I keep their rooms exactly the same, he admitted. Like they're coming back. Elena didn't judge. Grief has no timeline. No rules. Everyone wants me to move on. Get over it. You don't get over losing people you love, she said firmly. You learn to carry it. There's a difference. He looked at her, really looked at her. This woman who understood. Who didn't try to fix him or rush him. Who just sat with him in his pain. Something shifted. Something dangerous and terrifying and wonderful. One evening, Elena invited him to her apartment. Full of photos and books and life. I wanted to show you something. She handed him an old photograph. Two girls, maybe 10 and 12, grinning at the camera. That's Maria and me. Last Christmas before she got sick. Marcus studied the photo. The joy in their faces. The innocence. He pulled out his wallet. Inside was a worn photo. Sarah, Jake, and Leo at the beach. The last vacation before the accident. They were beautiful, Elena whispered. So was your sister. They sat on her couch, these two broken people, sharing their ghosts. I'm scared, Marcus said suddenly. The words burst out. I'm scared that if I let myself feel again, I'll lose control. That the pain will destroy me. Elena took his hand. You're already feeling, Marcus. That's why you're scared. He looked down at their joined hands. When had that happened? What if I can't do this? What if I'm too broken? Then we'll be broken together, she said simply. He kissed her then. Gentle. Terrified. Alive. News traveled fast. Within days, photos of Marcus and Elena were everywhere. Billionaire moves on, new romance after tragedy. The headlines were cruel. People called Elena a gold digger. They said Marcus was disrespecting his family's memory. The comments online were vicious. Elena's phone rang constantly. Reporters camped outside her apartment. The hospital board called an emergency meeting about the scandal. Marcus found her crying in her office. The confident woman he knew looked small and scared. Maybe we should stop seeing each other, she said quietly. This is hurting you. Hurting the hospital. No. Marcus knelt beside her chair. I've been dead for 3 years. You made me feel alive again. I won't lose that because of strangers' opinions. But your family would want me to be happy. He said it firmly, believing it for the first time. Sarah loved me. She would want me to love again. Elena searched his face. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. He called a press conference the next day. Faced every camera. Every question. I loved my wife and sons. I will love them until my last breath, he said clearly. But love doesn't die when people do. It grows. It changes. Elena Torres is an extraordinary woman who taught me that living isn't betraying the dead. And anyone who has a problem with that can deal with me directly. The room exploded with questions. Marcus ignored them all and walked out. Elena met him outside. She'd watched the press conference. Tears streamed down her face. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me for telling the truth. But the world didn't stop judging. Marcus's mother called, her voice tight with anger. How dare you replace Sarah? Replace my grandsons? I'm not replacing anyone, Mom. I'm trying to survive. By forgetting them? I could never forget them. His voice broke. But they're gone. And I'm still here. What am I supposed to do? Die too? Silence. Then quietly, I don't know how to watch you love someone else. I don't know how to do it either, Marcus admitted. But I'm trying. Isn't that worth something? His mother hung up. But 2 days later, she called back. Tell me about her. About Elena. Everything seemed perfect. Too perfect. Marcus should have known. 6 months into their relationship, Elena collapsed at work. Rushed to the hospital. Marcus held her hand in the emergency room, terrified. Mr. Kane. The doctor looked serious. We found something in the tests. A tumor. Brain stem. It's aggressive. The world tilted. Not again. Not her. What are the options? Surgery. Radiation. Chemotherapy. But I have to be honest, the location makes it complicated. Very complicated. Elena woke up to find Marcus sitting beside her bed, his face gray. You know, she said softly. He nodded, unable to speak. I'm not dying, she said firmly. Not without a fight. I can't lose you. His voice shattered. I can't do that again. Then don't. She pulled him close. Stay with me. Fight with me. But don't give up before we even try. He pressed his face to her shoulder and finally cried. All the tears he'd held back for 3 years poured out. The surgery was 12 hours long. Marcus paced the waiting room like a caged animal. David brought coffee. His mother came, holding his hands silently. When the surgeon finally emerged, exhausted but smiling, Marcus's knees nearly gave out. We got most of it. She's strong. Really strong. Elena's recovery was slow. Painful. There were setbacks. Infections. Days when she couldn't remember Marcus's name. Days when she screamed in frustration at her weak body. Marcus never left. He slept in her hospital room. Helped her walk. Held her when she cried. Cheered when she took 3 steps on her own. You don't have to stay, she said one night. This isn't what you signed up for. Elena Torres, I love you. That means I'm here for all of it. The good. The bad. The terrible. All of it. You love me. Her eyes widened. I love you, he repeated. I think I have for a while now. She started crying. Happy tears this time. I love you too. 3 months later, Elena was home. Weak but healing. Her hair was growing back in soft curls. She said it made her look like a dandelion. Marcus took her to the beach at sunset. The same beach from his last photo with his family. He'd avoided it for years. Why here? Elena asked. Because this is where I said goodbye to one part of my life. And I want this to be where I start the next part. He knelt in the sand. Pulled out a simple ring. Nothing flashy. Just a single diamond. I know I'm broken. I know I come with baggage. But you make me want to try. You make me want to build something new. Will you marry me? Elena laughed through tears. You're not broken. You're healing. And yes, I'll marry you. He slipped the ring on her finger. They stood on that beach, holding each other as the sun set, two people who'd found each other in the darkness. They married quietly. Small ceremony. Just close friends and family. Elena wore a simple white dress. Marcus couldn't stop smiling. His mother hugged Elena tightly. "Take care of my boy," she whispered. "I will," Elena promised. David was the best man. He gave a speech that made everyone laugh and cry. Marcus Kane was dead for 3 years. Then Elena walked in and reminded him what living means. That's not a love story. That's a miracle. As Marcus and Elena danced, he whispered, "Thank you." "For what?" "For not giving up on me. For showing me that hearts can heal." "Hearts are stronger than we think," she said. "They break, but they also mend." A year into their marriage, Elena came home with news. Her hands were shaking. "Marcus, I need to tell you something." His heart stopped. "Was the cancer back?" "I'm pregnant." The world stopped spinning. "What?" "I know. The doctors said it was unlikely after all the treatment. But apparently, our baby is a fighter." She smiled nervously. "Are you happy? Or is this too much?" Marcus pulled her into his arms. "Happy? Elena, I never thought I'd have this chance again. A family. A future. You've given me everything." "We're giving each other everything," she corrected. 9 months later, Marcus stood in a different hospital. But this time, he wasn't drowning in grief. He was drowning in joy. A baby girl. Tiny. Perfect. Screaming her lungs out. "She's healthy," the nurse said, placing her in Elena's arms. Marcus looked down at his daughter. His wife. His new family. And he felt his old family there too. Not haunting him, but blessing him. "What should we name her?" Elena asked. Marcus thought about it. "Hope. Her name is Hope." Because that's what she was. Living proof that after the darkest night, morning always comes. 5 years passed. Hope grew into a wild, laughing child with her mother's kindness and her father's stubbornness. The penthouse wasn't a museum anymore. It was filled with toys and drawings and noise. Beautiful noise. Marcus still thought about his first family. But the pain had softened. Become something he could carry without drowning. One evening, he found Elena on the balcony, watching the sunset. Hope was asleep inside. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "About how life is strange. How we find people when we least expect it. How love doesn't replace love, it multiplies." Marcus pulled her close. "I used to think I died 3 years before I met you. But I was wrong. I was just waiting. Waiting for you to show me how to live again." "We showed each other," Elena said. "That's how it works. We heal together." Inside, Hope started crying. They both smiled. Marcus kissed his wife's forehead. "Our daughter needs us." "Then let's go," Elena said, taking his hand. As they walked inside, Marcus looked back at the ocean one last time. The waves crashed against the shore, endless and eternal, destroying and creating with every tide. Just like life. Just like love. Just like hope. Thank you for journeying through this story of loss, love, and second chances. Remember, no matter how shattered you feel today, tomorrow can bring unexpected healing. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Love you.